Now, Vocal Media has a lot of potential for making a little bit of money on the side. That's because Vocal will pay its authors depending on how many reads the story gets. It's kind of like having a blog where if you add AdSense to it, that you make more money with the more visitors come to your site. And in this case, it's pretty much anything that you slap on Vocal that people wind up reading. What sets Vocal aside from just using AdSense on your blog is that sometimes people will tip you some money. In fact, in January, I got a $5 tip from one of my articles. But what happens when you don't have the motivation to put in the time to write articles on Vocal? What if you run out of ideas? Well, I'm Mike with WriterSanctuary, and today I want to look at some ways to motivate you to write some more articles on vocal.media. A part of why I haven't made more money on Vocal is because I have a lot on my plate. I don't have enough time to put into writing more articles for Vocal, as I still have a lot of my own blogs to write for. This is on top of trying to make the YouTube videos and keep my clients happy. But I would really like to add some more time into Vocal. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to anytime soon. But what if that's not your problem? What if you're just trying to get motivation? Well, the first thing you do is you can jump into some challenges. Now, open challenges are the things that Vocal set aside for its authors to compete against one another to make more money. Unfortunately, a lot of these challenges are for Vocal Plus users, and that's going to wind up costing you $10 a month. I kind of mentioned this in my last Vocal video, and I'm just not convinced that it's worth $10 a month, especially since I'm not going to be able to make that much money back. Now, further on down the road, if I start making more than $10 a month on the content that I write for Vocal, it might be worthwhile. But I'm a realist. I don't have the money to just toss out and cross my fingers. But there are some challenges that free users have access to, so it's probably worthwhile to jump in a few. Besides, every time you enter in a challenge, it gives you another article for your collection anyway. So that just means that people have more stuff to read. And some of the grand prizes for the articles are pretty great, so it might be worthwhile to pay the $10 a month if you're a really good writer. For instance, right now there's one that's up for Vocal Plus users that a grand prize of $10,000. But like I said, even if you don't win, it just gives you another article that other people can read anyway. Another thing you can do is look at the resources on Vocal. Now, the resources are there to help authors advance in their career on Vocal. It breaks down some of the updates to the system, provides some inspiration, and there's a lot of stuff there that'll help you grow as a creator. So if you're having a hard time coming up with something worthwhile to put on Vocal, give the resources a look. Something else you can do is take a look at the communities. Now, Vocal has grown exponentially since I first started a very long time ago, and now there's communities centering around just about every niche you can come across. And each one of these communities can kind of inspire you to write something more. And the great thing about Vocal is that you really don't need to center yourself on one niche as a writer. So if you like to write about food, and you also like to write about technology, you can write 2 different articles for either one of them. It's a great place to be eclectic. Another way to get inspiration is look at some of the top stories. The top stories are kind of showing you exactly what people are reading, so you can probably get a couple ideas off of what you could do to make it better, or to have your own spin of the topic. Like there's one right now that says Stardew Valley changed my life. I could write a similar article about Minecraft. And it did. Minecraft has been a very therapeutic game for me. It's a great way for me to relax and build, and I love to build, love to be creative, and it keeps my mind steady. But you get my point. And lastly, set some daily and weekly goals for writing content. For instance, I'm trying to write 1 million words this year, and putting more effort into Vocal would definitely help me reach it. But you don't have to write 1 million words. You can set any goal, really. Say that you want to write at least 1,000 words today, and then tomorrow, see if you can beat that by writing 1,001. In fact, daily goals is how I became such a success on Textbooker. I would take my average of throughout the week, and then the next week, I would try to beat my average. Got to the point where I was doing about 6,000-7,000 words a day. So start off with a realistic goal and just keep growing from it. In reality, it takes more than just a handful of articles to really succeed on Vocal. And based by the type of content you can create, it really doesn't take much. For instance, one of my top articles was one I wrote a couple of months ago about how it sucks being a stress eater. That's the one I actually got a tip on. And it's true that I haven't really got maybe 40 plus views on that one article. I did get that $5 tip, and that was more than enough for me. In fact, just that tip alone made more money than what I would have made on Textbooker for the same article. But on Vocal Media, it seems that people really like the personal stories that go behind everything. So you don't want to focus purely on fact and trying to spout out a bunch of statistics. Put a little bit of personal spin on it and add some personality. But just like when you're owning a blog, Vocal kind of requires a constant flow of content. which is why you won't see very many blogs with just one article on it being successful. This is because you need to cover a wide range of topics in any given niche. But the more that you write on Vocal, the more likely you'll get attention, reads, and possibly even some tips. So what's been your experience with Vocal Media? Like I said, so far I haven't really put a lot of effort into it. I've only got maybe 8 articles up, but I just don't have the time. I'd really like to put a little bit more into it. I'm going to try to finesse some time into it this week, but we'll have to see because I bit off quite a bit this week. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about freelance writing, WordPress, text broker, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I'll see you next time.